Hello and welcome to today's episode of Hi, I'm Jason, with Jason Pollock. I am not Jason. Joining Jason today, we have a musician and entertainer affectionately called the son of Mario Lanza, Justin Gonzalez. We also have quarter-finalist and fan favorite from season 11 of America's Got Talent, comedian, author, and motivational speaker, Julia Scotti. Now, the man you haven't been waiting for, Jason Pollock.
Hello and welcome to another episode. That's right, number 2 of Hi, I'm Jason. Why do we call it that? Because nobody knows who I am. I'm Jason. And before we get started, please welcome the band, Justin Gonzalez and the Kitty Cat Orchestra.
I just wrote
All right,
that.
that's our show. Justin.
Hey, Paul Schaefer doesn't have shit on me.
Yes, he does, actually. We spent a lot of money for him to keep that quiet, so don't bring that up.
You know, that was actually a dream of mine. I remember being a little kid.
People blackmail you?
Well, that because that meant that I was somebody.
You are.
But
you are. Don't ever not think you're somebody, because you are. To me, you're somebody special.
I mean, everybody's somebody. I mean, let's be honest.
Somehow. Oh, wait, it's everybody needs somebody, not everybody.
It's everybody. Yeah, but I like our version.
Everybody is somebody.
Everybody is somebody somehow.
That's just weird.
But I remember being a kid and seeing bands like the CBS Orchestra and the house band on Saturday Night Live, and I was like, oh, I just wish that I could be part of that. And that was the goal as a little kid.
Was that your dream, to be in a house band for a variety show?
when I was a little kid, absolutely. And you know what? That actually came to fruition, and I will talk about that, I think, in a little bit.
Yeah. In the meantime, here's a word from our sponsor. Use remote controls. Keeps you from getting up.
That's that.
And now
you hold them in your. You hold them in your hand. You point them at things. I wasn't sure if you had. I wasn't sure if you had mentioned who our guests are going to be today.
Well, it turns out we have one guest.
Okay.
This is a very professional show. I don't know if you're familiar with Tom Hanks.
I've heard of him, yes.
Well, Julia Scotti is our guest today, who also likes Tom Hanks.
that's the point I was getting at. I was kind of part of Julia Scotti's house band when she was doing a little show called the Julia Scotti Comedy Test Kitchen, which is where we met.
Where we met, yes. Oh my God! I just realized I didn't shower today. This is my. But you know,
I realized.
I still look great.
I mean, you look good though.
Thank you, Julie. Justin.
I've been called worse.
Julia couldn't get her mic and camera to work, so we're just waiting on her. But in the meantime, how have you been since last week? Since our first show.
The first show was a lot of fun with Coleman Green. He was such a fun guy, and just the three of us talking. I mean, that was just it's something that I haven't done in a while.
Oh wait! This is our answering the phone segment. Hello. I'm right here. We're here.
The second link, the second email.
Second email. Justin said the second email.
Not the first one.
Oh, she's here. All right, I'm going to hang up.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know her from watching such movies as Waiting for Guffman and The Mighty Wind. Please welcome our favorite TV watcher, Julia Scotti.
Hey, was this on? Are we on?
We're on.
Wait, neither one of you is Beverly D'Angelo. What's going on here?
Not yet. That's why we had you on. One of us is going to become Beverly D'Angelo by the end of the show.
Before the end of the show, wait, I'm turning around so there's no glare. How's that?
That's wonderful. I heard a cat.
Oh, that's me. It's my I'm a ventriloquist. And I'm studying ventriloquism. Look at my hair. I look like Shagundala. Look.
You do.
Remember when Ruth
You look
Buzzy
beautiful,
was?
darling.
Ah, thank you. How come? Look at him, Justin looks like he's on the set of a Broadway musical. All right, come here, you pain in my.
He always looks wonderful.
Everyone's gonna applaud the smoke machine in a second.
Where are you, Justin? Where are you? You got lighting and everything.
Justin's the house band.
Whose cat is that up in the corner?
That's LaRue. That's one of my cats. Not the one.
Is that the killer cat? Get that cat away from me.
Not the killer cat. For those of you listening at work.
Are we going out live? Are we live now? Or are we recording?
We're not live. This is being recorded.
Oh, good. Okay. Good.
I'd rather not go live in case you say something that offends Justin or myself, which is impossible.
You mean I can't swear?
Oh, you can.
Oh,
I heard
okay.
you did a fucking Woodstock gig the other night.
I did. It was like Woodstock the other night. We were we were up in Royersford, Pennsylvania, and we were working on the back of a flatbed truck. Busted flat in Royersford. My spirit was as broken as my harmonica. Yeah.
It's like Janis Joplin's back.
Oh, anyway. Bobby thumbed the diesel down. And,
I heard about Bobby thumbing the diesel down.
He thumbed the diesel down. And
the song was written by Chris Christopherson originally, me and Bobby McGee.
Say what?
That song was what? That song was originally written by Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, like who doesn't know that, J-Po?
Well,
what do you think? You're
holding Bobby's body next to mine. Just
Bobby, I read the history of that, and I saw Chris Christopherson explain it. Bobby McGee was a girl who worked at a recording studio in, I think he said Memphis. And actually her boyfriend's name was Bobby too. So it was Bobby and Bobby, which is kind of nauseating when you think about it. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing great. I'm thinking about that song, and for years I thought the line was that she thumbed a Diesel Dan, which made me think it was very.
I thought it was that too. Yeah, I thought it was Diesel Dan too. But
who is thumbing Diesel Dan?
It sounds like she's saying Diesel Dan.
Which is
really, it does, and
Diesel Dan.
It's not a diesel. There's no such thing as a Diesel Dan, unless you go to Tijuana, and it's like $20.
I've been to some rest stops in the South that there could be a guy named Diesel Dan.
Truck stops you can get a Diesel Dan still.
Truck stops.
That's true. Yeah. You just have to put your fingers through the hole to let them know you're there.
Yeah, you thumb. That's where you thumb with Diesel Dan. That's how you get a Diesel Dan.
That's it. You got
$20 and a thumb. And, it's $40 if you want two thumbs.
Julia,
yeah,
Justin is our one-man house band. Look at all the instruments he's got.
I know. He looks like he killed the Osmond family back there.
The Osmond family, not the lighting.
I don't even know what the fuck to say to that. I mean, Donnie is under the floorboards, but I just don't know what to say.
Justin killed the Osmond clan, heading for a train.
They were too smiley. That's what it is.
His teeth cost a lot of money. They had to recoup their recapping.
I honestly think they smiled so much because they knew a Diesel Dan.
Well, Donnie definitely had a Diesel Dan.
And they
one night Provo.
Donnie's been thumbed by Diesel Dan himself.
You think they had trouble? It's too bad you can't get liquor in Utah because they can't get a margarita, and you got all that salt.
The entire state is dry, isn't it?
Huh? I guess so. I don't know. Hey, do you see my Gene Shepard picture behind me?
I do see your Gene Shepard picture. Yeah.
You know where that came from?
No,
I have no idea.
That was hanging in the lobby of KYW Radio in Philadelphia when Shep used to do a show He did a show there, which I didn't know, and I thought I knew everything about him.
So you did a show at the radio station and just took it? You figured you were a guest?
I didn't just take it.
Lobby wall.
No, I knew somebody who knew somebody.
Took it for you.
And they took it.
And
Yeah,
they took it.
They took it.
Yes, but
You gotta know a guy. Don't worry. This is only going on YouTube.
oh, okay. Hey, has anybody seen on Hulu? Have you seen 11/22/63?
Oh,
Yeah.
what a great show!
Have you watched it?
Next,
James Franco. Yeah. Oh my God.
Stephen King.
Yeah, I love it.
It's on my list. What is so good about it that I should be watching it?
Move it up.
It's what is so good about it that you should. Let me pull my resident movie buff historian, Laura.
Fuck him. I can tell you what's so good about it. It's got
Laura?
everything I love. Time travel, Kennedy
Okay.
assassination stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get the James Franco thumbs a Diesel Dan, and he gets one.
My resident film buff is here, and she's going to explain what she loved about 11/22/63.
Oh, I just loved it. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Is there only one season of it?
Yes.
There's only one book.
Yes.
Because they're already up to October, and so I figured it's gonna end soon.
Did you
I
finish
know. You
Huh?
just want it to go on, but I guess it can't because it
Well,
ends.
no. Once he gets shot, the show's pretty much over.
Did
Yes, exactly.
that's actually the true story of what happened to the president.
The
Kennedy.
true story is Oswald never died. What happened was he went to Guatemala, where he learned magic, and he does kids parties now.
Wow, just like last week, we're talking about kids parties.
Well, he did.
That's right. He does. He does
That's right.
really good.
That's
finger
one of his
thing.
famous tricks.
That's
Yep.
amazing.
Wow, look at how big my finger gets when I do that. Whoa!
I think somebody knows. I think we know who Diesel Dan is.
Oh no, the big giant finger! Oh no! I'm sorry.
Before Julia became Julia.
Poor Diesel.
Diesel Dan.
Said if her finger's that big, I'd hate to see her thumb.
Howdy, partner. Can I interest you in a Diesel Dan? $20. I'll make you feel good. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I was going to be serious. Let me be serious.
Justin, have you ever been?
What the hell is wrong with you?
I haven't.
I passed the sign today.
Why don't you just give out my address, for Christ's sake? You got to cut that out. That's got to come out. That has got to come out. Pixelate yourself.
Can I tell you? See, Julia and I, as long as we've known each other, Julia, it's been almost 10 years that we've known each other.
Has it
Can
really?
you imagine?
Oh my God, you just turned 21 when I met you.
And
So
now
then
he's
it's been
there
over
for your
10 years that
birthday.
we've known each other.
You celebrated your
That's
21st
right.
birthday at that place.
With the
Fucking
things.
cute.
Yeah.
I still have the apron.
Was it the Dark Horse?
Yeah, the Dark Horse. Right?
Yeah, that's where Justin and I met for the first time.
Well, that's where I met Justin. I gave him a Diesel Dan right there in the men's room. He never knew what hit him.
That was some of the most fun I ever had was being a part of Julia
next to this
Scott's
show,
Test
right?
Kitchen.
That was a fun
Next
show.
to this show.
Yeah,
of
it
course.
was fun. I
But
got to admit.
So Jason and I, before you joined, we were talking about one of my early childhood dreams was to be in one of those famous house bands, the CBS Orchestra or the SNL, house band. And I said that, that my life, I in some way, shape, or form got to that status. And that's when I was working with Julia Scotti in the Comedy Test Kitchen, working with Marty Kraswanos and Stanley. That was so much fun for me because it was like, hey, I'm kind of doing this thing that I always wanted to do, and it was just such a great deal of fun.
It always reminded me of the Dick Van Dyke Show where they would have the parties, and everybody would get up and do something, and Rob and Laura would start to do a song, and all of a sudden somebody's just playing the piano, and all of a sudden there's a whole fucking orchestra behind them. It's like, where do they keep the orchestra in the house? Are they in the kitchen? that they're playing this? Yeah.
In the Ottoman. The Ottoman.
In the Ottoman,
lifts
yeah.
up.
I got to tell you about that. Here's what the quarantine has done to me. At the very beginning of the quarantine, I was watching all of the Dick Van Dyke, all 5 years of it. I watched all 5 years of it. And I began to be fascinated by the fall. And I analyzed it. I actually started to take it apart frame by frame, like the Zapruder film.
Autumn of the Zapruder film is a dark film.
No, but that's how I analyzed how he fell. And it's fascinating to see how he does it. And do you want to know?
I love that you're comparing the Dick Van Dyke fall to the Zapruder film.
Only in the sense that he went back and to the left. You know, he fell.
She's like, huh.
But he did. But that's what I took. No, what you know, through the magic of the button, I could see frame by frame what he was doing. It's fascinating because he really doesn't flip.
No, I never noticed that.
It just looks like he's flipping over. You might want to bring Laura in on this one too.
Hey, Laura,
She's gonna love this.
What is it?
Laura, my beard is off frame, but she's
Right
here.
here. Yeah.
All right, Laura, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about how Dick Van Dyke does his fall over the Ottoman.
Right.
Okay, you got to. Can you see me? Because I'm going to demonstrate.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay, so when he walks in, right, the
There's
first
a
thing
second
when he first pretends to trip over it, his left hand goes to the outer edge of the Ottoman, right, closest to him, the edge closest to him. As he begins to roll over, he slides his left hand over. His right hand now goes to the floor like this. He hangs it right on the floor, right? And he just sort of tumbles. It's a tumble. It's not a flip. It's like a. It's like
right.
Yeah, watch it. It's beautiful the way he does it.
I know exactly what you're talking about now that you say it. It is. It's more of a tumble.
It is a tumble.
It is a tumble.
But the way they shot it, it looked like he flipped over. And
yeah.
Because when he tumbles, he winds up flat on the floor with his arms extended.
Right.
And you know,
it's
beautiful. You got to watch it.
I'm going to rewatch. I'll have to rewatch it.
Okay.
If anybody watched this far into our program and has some editing equipment and wants to edit the Dick Van Dyke fall to a Zapruder style, I would really appreciate
God, that would be awesome.
it. Appears there was a second Ottoman.
There was a second Ottoman. There was.
on the shaggy knoll.
On the second. And why was Buddy and Sally there before he gets home?
Right, that is true. Yeah, like he's coming home from work, but they're already there.
Yeah, and what are the three of them doing? What were they doing? Yeah.
What communal is that place?
I don't know. Something was going on. I think Sally was giving Diesel Dance to everybody. Yep. You got it, Justin.
You know, Maury Amsterdam bought my wife lunch as a girlfriend.
Who did?
Maury Amsterdam.
Did he really?
He did. Laura, where were you?
Oh, I went to the Beverly Hills Hotel.
The Beverly D'Angelo Hills Hotel.
I was 16. I was with my girlfriend. He was at the table next to us, invited us over, and we talked for a little bit. And he bought me my lunch. It was like a Monte.
Oh, how nice!
Remember those are Monte Cristo sandwiches?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But
Were his teeth falling out yet?
He spent most of the time talking to my girlfriend Tori about where she got her name, if it was from the Tories and all of that. Then he spent talking about anything else. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Cool. I had Morty Gunty once bought me a
Monte Cristo.
Morty Gunty once bought me a Mounds bar. And then he would try to get me in his car to give him a Diesel Dan, but I said no. No, Morty Gunty, you are not getting me in your car. He was driving a Pontiac at that point. It was 1961. It was a Pontiac Tempest.
Pontiac,
And it had-
there's room.
Huh?
There's room in a Pontiac.
There was room to give him a diesel van, but I'm not going to do that for a fucking Mounds bar. You're going to have to give me the $20,
Or at least a payday.
At least I never like paydays. No, I like Mounds, just coconut and chocolate. That's splendor in the grass.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
And I don't. I never feel. I don't like nuts with my coffee. I mean, my chocolate or my coffee. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't
I
like
go
chewy
Chessie.
coffee.
I don't like chewy coffee.
Chewy
Chewy
coffee.
coffee was my stripper name for many, many years. Too. Many people don't know that. All right. Who's the next guest?
The next guest.
You.
Oh,
Julia, you're
How-
it. You're
how
it.
long does this show go on?
Till the lull comes.
That's it. That's,
We're about 15. We're about 15 minutes over.
seriously?
No,
What
No.
kind of pre-production do you do? There's
we're at
there's
20.
nothing here.
Julia, I'm still trying to find my groove. Okay. Remember, it takes some people 2 years to really find their groove. This is only the second show I've ever done. I've been a guest on people's podcasts many times, and being a guest, you don't really have to carry the conversation. But having your own, all of a sudden it hits you. Crap, I've got to carry a conversation. I've got to
No,
keep
you don't.
this thing.
If you got a good guest, the guest will carry it.
Oh, I've got two great guests right now.
All right, when are they coming?
They're on the next show, but
Well,
Oh, okay.
I'll say in about 2 minutes, I heard Diesel Dan's calling in. So
Hey, are you going to sing something? I heard you singing on this show.
last week he did a Queen.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking him.
I'm the host, damn it.
You're the host, but when I have a host question, I'll say, "Hey, host."
I'm just Ed McMahon. I'm just here to go ho 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 and give away a big
He's
check.
Ed McMahon
That's it.
and Doc
You know-
771.
You should. Are you working on? How's that? You doing a salute to Julius LaRosa yet? You should. You should. You really should.
I was actually doing a salute to Little Caesars. That's
The pizza
my
place?
next show that I'm doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
pizza place. Yeah,
Or Edward G. Robinson.
pizza.
Ah, Mother of Mercy. Is this the end of Rico? Ah. That's-
Julia, would you like for me to sing a song for you?
Who's doing that? Don't do that.
I don't know. It's like whoa.
Yeah, seriously. If I had epilepsy, I'd have seized out by now.
But that was
Sure. What do you want to do? What are you going to do?
yes. What are you going to do?
Well, I don't know now.
Che
That
la
the
Luna.
acid's
Can you
kicked
do
in.
Che la Luna? Che la Luna.
I can't. But but
Okay.
if you like that song, you're gonna love this one.
How about
So here, I'll
a Mills Brothers tune? Up a Lazy
Well,
River.
before you
Brothers
play
tune.
anything,
You're asking.
Wait a minute. Your host is talking again. What?
Julia, before you play anything, Justin, we did give you a lot of credit, or Justin gave you a lot of credit last week to say that you really did help him come up with the idea for the one-man show that he's doing where he's playing songs throughout history.
I did?
You did.
You did. Well, it was working with it was around the time that we were working together in the Comedy Test Kitchen that I started going through my issues with my multiple sclerosis and my memory.
Right.
And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to pursue a career in opera. But, I really took a step back and working with you on also just kind of my command, someone up front on stage and telling stories and writing and just getting my ideas kind of organized. That's where I came up with the idea that I love music throughout all styles and throughout all time. And so now a show that I do frequently, I kind of coined memorable melodies, is we start in like the jazz lounge and then we move to Broadway and then I do opera.
Ooh, that's
and then
cool.
I kind of, and it's just the heart of it is we tell our story. The composer had a story, the song itself has a story, the performer has a story, the audience has a story, and we all come together in that moment when we experience the song. And
That's
so
very cool.
And so that all started from working with you in the comedy test kitchen, because I thought that I was humorous, but I think it was with you that I realized, like, oh, I'm actually kind of funny. And
Unlike
when you kind of
Jason.
bring the
Unlike Jason. Yeah.
well, Julia, looks aren't everything. So
Don't I know?
okay.
I'm way
No,
too
but
good looking to be funny. That's the problem.
What?
I'm way too good looking to be funny. That's the
true.
problem.
Yes, you are.
That's
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
So-
Well, thank you. I'm keep going. I'm sorry.
well, no, it's
because what it is the show
Shut
is
up, Beast. Wait a minute. Shut up, Beast.
Justin's show is very long right now, but as the MS gets worse, he starts to forget the songs, so it gets shorter and shorter. He does every song he remembers until he's down to one, and then the show is over.
You're terrible.
that's pretty much it. Actually, there's actually a lot of truth to that. Because
okay.
the thing is, a lot of the songs that I choose to do in my show are the ones that I can still remember. So,
well, that's also a function of age too. I mean, how old are you now?
Well, hey, I'm gonna be 33.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
well, that's when
30.
it happens. I have trouble remembering now. I don't have, I think let me see, man, woman, no, person, man, woman, camera, TV. Did I get it right?
That was okay.
Um,
I'll take it.
Asshole. That's a fucking asshole. I bet he's paid for a Diesel, Dan.
Diesel Dan, I just take it.
We did from Stormy.
I don't pay for a Diesel Dan. I take it.
He paid for a Stormy Daniels. That's right, Jason.
Oh.
That's right. A Diesel, the Diesel Daniels. What are you drinking there, Justin?
It's no, don't worry. It's whiskey.
Oh, I thought it was Southern Comfort. Well, if you're doing Janis Joplin, and who isn't?
Oh no. No, it's
you're drinking it out of a.
What?
It's a little fruit juice concoction.
A what?
What was that song? That rock and roll song? Drinking out of a fruit. Chuck Berry drinking out of a fruit jar. What the hell is he drinking it out of my hole? Is anybody watching this thing?
It's not live, Julia.
Oh, all right. So, what are you gonna?
Yeah, what are you gonna play for, Justin?
Well,
the show was a lot better when I couldn't get my video going. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
How about this? I'm gonna play you one of the earliest jazz standards I learned on the ukulele.
Okay.
Because I refuse to play. Everyone always asks, do I play Tiptoe Through the Tulips? And I never played.
No.
Ukulele.
Well, I never played anything, but just out of fear that people would call me Not So Tiny Tim. So I never played anything.
Bada boom. Do something from Ukulele Ike. Do you do any Ukulele Ike?
Oh. So there's one. Well, of course, his most famous song is "When You Wish Upon a Star."
That's right. But he was singing as Jiminy Cricket, though.
That's true. That's very true. And after that, he got a lot of money, and then he became a degenerate alcoholic, and he died penniless. So
isn't that the way it always? That's what's going to happen to me.
One can hope.
Well, I got half of it. I'm the degenerate already, so I'm just gonna. All right, go ahead.
Let's work on the. Okay.
A ukulele Ike tune?
Well, this is not a ukulele Ike tune, but it's kind of from the same. Maybe a little bit later.
Okay.
We'll do something that probably was from his era. Okay, so this is actually an Irving Berlin tune.
Urban Berlin.
Urban.
Yeah, his real, yes, yeah. Urban motherfucking Berlin. That was his street name.
Yeah, Urban Berlin. There'd be a dope beat like.
Yeah, there you go. Now that's a video for you. Yeah. Do White Christmas like that.
Oh, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. Last week we almost did Justin almost did a opera Tupac. Tupac opera.
That would be fun.
That's right. Yeah, Coleman and I are talking about that's going to be something we're going to do is the hip opera, and it's going to be all Tupac's music and his story.
Oh, I love it. That's great. It's like the opposite of Hamilton.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's only
All right,
going to be white people on stage. No,
The opposite of Hamilton will be the music.
was that? We can cut that, right? It's okay.
Okay.
I'm Puerto Rican. Whatever.
Yeah, that
means.
gives him a pass.
So,
Gonzalez, right there in the middle.
yeah, there's all the adobo there. Okay, so this is I'll do just a quick version, one time through of this. That's one of my favorites to play. We're gonna do Blue Skies for you. Okay.
Love Blue Skies.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Blue birds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, oh my, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Nothing but blue skies from now on.
Woo!
Just like the old days.
Justin Gonzalez, everybody.
Just like the old days.
And Julia Scotti on the pots and pans. My goodness.
On the table. Shut up, Cat. What do you know? No taste at all.
Everybody's a critic, right?
Everybody's a critic. So why am I here?
Because we want to talk to you,
Huh?
because you're funny, we love you. And look what I got. That's comedy.
You should. Oh, Justin. Are you familiar with Renato Cattersone?
Wait, say the name again.
He's an Italian guy. His name is Renato Cattersone. Carosone. You got to check him out. You'll love him. You'll love the band. You too, Jason. Renato. I don't see you writing, you people. It's going to be on the. It's going to be on the test. Come on, Renato Carosone. I'm going to ask questions at the end of the end of this interview.
Carosone.
Yeah, check him out. You both will love him.
It's been written down.
All right.
So
a lot of YouTube.
Is he a
stuff.
band leader? Is he a singer? Or is he?
He was in the 1950s, early 50s, mid 50s. He had a rock and roll band in Italy. It was all the time. You might know the song "So You Want to Be Americano."
Oh yeah.
Brian Setzer did it. Well, this guy wrote it, and his band does it. But the band is fantastic. I love the band, and you will love them. You'll love them too. So, I spent the whole day.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, lots of fun videos there. And Julius LaRose, I was watching him too today. Who's writing that?
My producer.
That's not the way you pronounce it. It's Care, A-E, C-A-R-E.
Oh. Okay.
And there's an E in Carosone, an E at the end, not A-I.
Well, you didn't spell it for us.
I did spell it.
Oh, well.
Justin wrote it down, right? Didn't you, Justin?
I have it on my pad here. I'm sure it's spelled wrong.
Yeah.
But
You know what his problem is? He doesn't listen. He doesn't. That's the sign of a good host. Well, listen, escuche, por favor.
Writing it down when you were spelling it, so I couldn't listen because I can't listen and write at the same time.
Oh man!
Got a secretary. Listen, this is as edgy as it gets, Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason I had you on is because you called and said you look nice today. So.
No, that's not what I said. I said I had it in my. I said to you last week. I had it in my book. And yet I bowed out because I punked out because...
I'm glad you're here. I'm very glad you're here. And you have a documentary.
Oh, we must be getting to the end of the show because he's asking me what's going on in my life.
Well, I had a question because I know
Yeah.
Julia, you've been
that's
really
what I-
busy lately.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm the question guy, Jason. I have my list over here. So
Okay.
but my question is I got to watch it because of the Nantucket Film Festival. I know that it's in a new film festival, but
Did you
just
see
had
it? It's in
I
two new
did
film
see it.
festivals. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw it digitally during the Nantucket Film
Nantucket,
Festival,
yeah.
and I absolutely loved it. You have a documentary out about your life. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's not. I didn't produce it. It's produced by a woman named Susan Sandler, who also wrote and directed. She didn't direct it, but she wrote Crossing Delancey, among other things. She's written plays, and she's a professor at NYU. And she, for the last 5 years, has been putting this thing together, and it finally finished it this year. It premiered, the world premiere at the Nantucket Film Festival, end of June, beginning of July, somewhere. And now it's going to what's called the Aglyph Film Festival. It's all genders lifestyle. I forget what the rest of it says, but it's a big film festival for alternative lifestyles, and that's going to be in Austin, virtually again, because they're all virtual this year. And then it goes to
It's on travel.
no, because it's all online this year because of the disease, because of the plague. I finally get some break in my life where everything's going right and plague happens.
But you don't have to travel.
I want to go travel. They were going to treat me like gold. I get to stay on a first class flight. I've never flown first class in my life. But no, plague. Instead, I got to do this show with you guys. Not that I don't like you, but I could be. And never mind. Anyway, so it's going to be there, and then it goes to the Bentonville Film Festival, which is produced by the Walton family from Walmart. That Walton family and Gina Davis. You know her, right?
Yeah.
So she's it's her brainchild putting that together. So those two, and it'll be coming for more, but those are the only two that I can talk about right now. So yeah. It's exciting.
That's very exciting. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
I remember the first time I talked to you on the phone, I was sitting in the gym parking lot. You were telling me you wanted to be famous and or just make it. You didn't word it in an arrogant way. You just said you really want to accomplish something. You're entering a new phase of your life. And I was thinking, oh, good for her. I've heard this a million times, but good for her. And you freaking did it.
Well, not famous, but it wasn't about being famous for
I shouldn't have worded it like that, but just successful. You become a very successful.
Yeah. I mean that, but for the reasons being that I felt like there were trans kids, LGBT kids all over the world, really, that might benefit from this film. Just to see, and adults too. The plan is, once this makes its way to all of the film festivals and possibly some sort of television all access thing, is to use it for speaking engagements around the country, to help educate people. So I think a lot of good can come out of it.
Let's hope.
I think I think it's really cool how you came back to comedy. You really took the time to concentrate on this thing that really your voice is your comedy, and how you.
Well, the funny part is it came out of the test kitchen. It's because of the test kitchen that all of this happened. Actually, it's because of Chris Rich. She was a big, she was the catalyst for this whole thing.
She put the kitchen kit together?
No, she and I had lunch one day, and she said to me, "When are you coming back to comedy?" And I said, "I'm never coming back. I'm 60 years old. I'm trained down. Who's going to want to see me?" And she goes, "You wanna?" And of course I did. And it happened that she was working at the Comedy Works in Bristol that week, and And so I went down. I wrote a couple of minutes, and I went up, scared to death because I was determined that there were only two things I wanted to be up there: was truthful and fearless, and that meant telling them that I was transgender on stage, which I could never even have imagined doing, and it I got laughs, and it was sort of, how we are as comics. It's like, tie me off and, put the needle in my arm, I'm hooked again. And so the test kitchen came about. Nick Cosentino and I happened to be walking down South Street one day, and we came down South Second, and I had been talking to him about this idea that I wanted to bring back a cabaret style club like the Improv, which is where I started out in New York. I said it was so much fun. Singers would come after being in their Broadway shows, and they'd come and do some numbers. Comics would come in. It was just a really show busy kind of place, And I said it would be great if we could. And we happened to walk past the Dark Horse, and we looked inside. And we went upstairs and talked to the owner, and that's how that happened. It really and so, but because of that, I got the cover story on the Philadelphia. I think it was the Gay News.
I remember.
Remember that?
Yes.
That got everything in motion. It was the chaos theory. It was the butterfly flapping its wings,
Right.
and everything came from that. It is the weirdest thing.
I remember the first time I saw you came to do a guest spot at the New Talent Night at the Comedy Cove.
That's right.
Field. Mm-hmm. And I met you, and I thought, at first glance, I thought, okay, I'll give her a shot on stage. And you blew the entire roof off the place. I mean, you were a barrel of energy in comedy. It was amazing. And I just wanted to see so much more of you after that.
Well, then I gave you the Diesel Dan in the parking lot, and you did.
Well, that's originally why.
Hold up. This is the longest running callback in the history of comedy. God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. But thank you. I appreciate that. And that was one of the first real gigs I had coming back. And
we're glad you did. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that makes two of us. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We had some great people along the way. Kathy's wonderful.
Yep. She was one of those people that I have told the story a million times. I've said it and told it to her. Well, she remembers. We were at the Northeast Cabaret, and I was working there. I think I was doing a benefit for somebody, and I came off. She had come out to see me because she'd heard about me, and she wanted to see what all the, whatever it was about. So after the show, she's in the bar, and I come out, and she introduced herself, and we talked for about 5-10 minutes. And do you ever get a feeling about something, and you just know you have to act on it? And I said to her, "You're the one. You're the one." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "You're going to manage me." She goes, "I don't know anything about managing." I said, "Doesn't matter. You can learn." I said, "But you are the one." And she fought me on it. And little by little, she started to do these little managey things, and like put the website together and everything else. So I owe her so much of this success is a result of hers. The AGT was a result of her work. If she hadn't put the website together, they would not have found me online. That's how it happened. I didn't watch that show. I didn't give a shit about ever being on a game show like that. But and I told her that day, because she goes, "Do you want to? Or they want to give you an audition?" I go, "I don't know." She's like, "Are you out of your mind?" Because they're practically handing it to you. I said, "No, all right." So we went up to Queens, and that's where I auditioned for them. Yeah.
So now, did you auditioned for the for a producer before you actually went out and did all that?
Yeah. Here's how it went for me. I had what's called an appointment audition at Queens College, and there were thousands of people there. It was like you see on TV, but I didn't have to wait. I walked past everybody. I was like the Queen of England. Good morning, everyone. Hello, peasants. And so they brought me into this auditorium, and there was a producer there whose name is Nigel, who I get to know later when I got to LA. But it was just him. He's sitting there with a light bulb on a table, a little lamp, and he's downstage. He's all the way back against the wall. I come up on the stage, my back's to the audience. There is no real audience, but he make your slate, tell your name and blah, blah, blah. What do you do? And then I did my 90 seconds and not a single response from him. Nothing. He just kept his head down the whole time. I was like, all right, I haven't got this, So he said, after I finished, he goes, would you mind waiting just a second, please? I said, of course. So I went over, and they led me into another room, and there the entire executive producers were seated at a table in a smaller room, and I had to do the same set for them. This time, though, they were laughing. They were allowed, I guess he wasn't allowed to laugh. This time they were laughing. I get done with that. They send me to a third room. And I'm sitting there with Kathy. Kathy was with me. We're waiting and waiting and waiting. And all of a sudden, the young girl comes and she starts asking me all these questions, like interviewing me. I'm like, and about 15 minutes into it, I said to her, what's going on here? And she goes, well, if you've gotten this far, there's a pretty good chance you got the show. So I said, oh, okay. So we left, and about 2 months later, I guess, about 2 months later, they let us know that they were going to film us. So we flew out there. And even that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get on the show. Did you know that?
I didn't.
They film a lot of people, and they never get on the show. We went out to Pasadena. That's where at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium. Packed. The place was packed. Couple of thousand people, and that's the show you saw. The first show you saw.
It was hilarious.
Hmm?
It was great. It was hilarious.
It was stunning to me. It was mind blowing. It had a dreamlike quality. I remember the first time I went, when I was about to walk out on stage. That first time, Nigel was the producer, the same guy who wouldn't look at me.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me and he just looks me in the eye and he just goes, Julia. He's just like that. He goes, do me a favor. I go, what? He goes, try not to fuck this up. That's the and it made me laugh because and I think that's what he intended to do. He turned out to be a really nice guy. So
that's great. Love him for saying that to you.
Yeah.
I do have to say, after hearing your whole story, my America's Got Talent experience was different.
What happened?
So I got a call from a friend of a former band leader of mine. Says, hey, I'm friends with a producer who called and said if I knew anyone that was of any particular talent, and you're the first person I thought of. Do you want to do this audition? They're going to be in Philly. I said, absolutely. Of course I want to do this. So I had a similar situation where I wasn't to like the very front of the line, but I definitely wasn't waiting around. They put me in the next go in, and it was great. And I went in, and there was one producer, and again, you get that, and I can't believe it. It's like for a comic, 30 seconds to just do your thing, and they're not reacting. And so I get 90 seconds to do my thing, and people that know my performing, I do rock and roll, I do jazz, I do gospel, So I figured they're in Philadelphia. Why don't I just sing a little Mario Lanza for them? So I sang a little bit of "Be My Love."
Uh-huh.
And I have never seen a human being look at another human being like they were so underwhelming. Like I've performed, with the Philadelphia Orchestra at Carnegie Hall, all these places, and here's this lady, at the Pennsylvania Convention Center in a banquet room that someone, probably threw up in last night. And she's just like, okay. and that was the end of it. I got no farther.
I'm used to that because I don't know if you've ever been on an audition for a commercial, but it's the same kind of thing. You get these, you walk into this waiting room and there's 30 people that look like you, right, waiting to go in, and you get the script and you go in the room and you slate and you do what you think is a really good reading, and they go, that's terrific, thanks, and you're out the door. So I mean, that part of it I'm used to. I mean, I'm 40 years in this business. I'm used to rejection, and I knew, I kind of knew that regardless of what kind of reaction anybody gave me, that I wasn't going to let that throw me, because I knew they were going to do that. I knew they were going to just,
You really can't let that throw you, because they usually don't show any reaction because they don't want to make you think you got it or not have it.
And it's not only that, they don't want you to show any. They don't show any reaction, because if you crumble under that kind of a scenario, imagine. Excuse me. Imagine what you would do on the actual show if you don't do well.
Of course. Now, my experience with America's Got Talent is I went to New York at 4:00 in the morning and got in line behind a mother and her child who kept scrolling through their phones and showing funny Facebook movies that they thought were funny. And already I was thinking, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be with these people. I don't want to audition for America's Got Talent anymore. But I was there. I went in, and I was in this one group of people where every other person was a girl. Let it go, let it go.
Oh yeah, Frozen. Yeah.
Oh God! And I all I thought was, I can't be part of this. I don't want to make it. I want to phone in my audition. I hate the show. I hate everything about it. And there's so many phony people around me. I remember a woman who's I guess managing her friend who's got a guitar around her shoulder. She's on the phone walking with him. There's a great energy in the room. I think you've really got to show.
Oh yeah. There were kids. I mean, there were parents who were like, setting their kids on fire and juggling them, and knife throwers and axe wielders, and guys were catching bullets in their teeth, and it was
just a freak show.
It was a freak show, and I have not watched the show since. People ask me all the time if I watch, not anymore now, but I never liked those shows. I don't, believe me, that show changed my life. I have nothing against it. It's just not. I would never do it again.
I have that they did react to you, Justin, because after watching the auditions for that show, which I've seen sometimes, and every time someone sings with a great voice, they do this.
Yeah.
As if they've never heard a good voice in their life. They've seen this show enough times to know that people sing well on occasion.
Right.
But every time it's like, what? The voice out of that face?
Well, and I think in my case there was genuine surprise, because
every time you get up, and
for the same reason you didn't think I was going to do good at the Comedy Cove.
Exactly, you went up, and I was just awestruck.
And that was my secret weapon,
That was a real reaction.
It was, and they left it up to me as to whether I was going to come out or not. I didn't decide that until Howie asked me why I was away for 10 years. I mean, I literally did not make up my mind as to whether I was going to say anything. Well, and I realized, I said, well, you know what? I could help a lot of people with this.
I'm glad you did. And
it's the mother of all coming out stories.
Right there on national television.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, you might as well go big.
Yes.
Yeah, go big or go home.
That's it.
Remember, I went into the little booth for my audition there, and they said, what separates you from other comedians? And I said, I couldn't say I'm a neurotic Jew.
Yeah, no, you should have just said, I'm a booker too.
I said, I do magic. So I made up something.
You didn't do magic, did you?
I pulled out a giant straw from a bag I brought just in case.
Oh.
They laughed at that. They laughed. I did well, but there's nothing really that made me stand out that was any different than anybody.
Yeah. The difference, though, between that and it's wonderful. It really, the experience was wonderful. Don't ever get me wrong. Don't you want to think? But that between that and the Showtime special, with the Showtime special, I was hired just because I was a comic, and it was I was with my peers. There was no competition. We all, I was with people I highly respected, and that felt to me much more satisfying than AGT did.
Of course,
for different reasons.
You were already a respected comedian. You got booked on a show with professional comedians because you're one of them.
Exactly, and that I know that sounds silly,
Sounds silly.
But a minimum amount of people saw the show, the special, compared to AGT, which was 13 million a week. But that special meant for me, it was more fulfilling, I think. Yeah. Because I'll tell you why. Because I always thought that if I ever got a shot at a special, I would do well. And when we taped that show that day, with all of that, with that amount of talent up there, Carol, I almost killed her. The day of the taping, she comes up to me about an hour before the taping. She goes, "Oh, by the way, you're closing the show." I was like, "What?" I go, no. You look at no. She goes, "You can do this." I go, "It's Caroline Ray, it's Carol Leifer, it's please."
You've got an energy that is hard to stop.
That show, look at and then they wound up putting me in the middle when they cut the show. When they, edited it, I wound up in the middle. But when it taped, I actually closed that show.
Wow.
Wow, I did not know that.
Many people don't know that. But yeah.
Yeah, you heard it here first, kids.
I did not know that.
Did not know that.
Now we've got a few minutes left before we hit that hour mark. Justin, you want to plug anything or do one more little song for us?
Well, actually, I wanted to. I had a question for Julia, and it just popped out of my head, and it was about the women of comedy. And the only thing that's coming to my mind right now is you got to meet Hoda because you got to go on TV and do that talk show. Yeah,
we did the Today Show, and I'm loving me some Hoda. I mean, she was so nice. They both were, but the Hoda was just wonderful. And we did it. It was right when COVID hit. There was no audience. They had crew in the seats where the audience was. So we were kind of, working to them. It was right before, like a day before or 2 days before the special aired. And, but you know what? It's cool. They sent a car for me down here. And
that is pretty cool.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, it was like I was in hog heaven.
They sent a car to Tom's River to pick you up?
They sent a limo there. They sent an Escalade down, right? And my neighbors, I made sure my neighbors saw my ass getting in that thing. And, and it's kind of cool to pull up in front of 30 Rock and, you're escorted past everything, and
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then all I could think of was, wow, this is the way it's going to be, going forward. And then Plague!
Oh gosh.
Justin, thank you for being part of this. I appreciate you being my guest on my second show ever.
Well, thank you. I didn't realize it was going to be an hour, and because I took a water pill right before we started this show.
I didn't either. I was planning on.
I got to pee like a 90-year-old woman right now. Jeez, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of 90-year-old woman, here we lost Olivia de Havilland today.
Yeah. What a so soon. It was so soon. I mean, her relatives were standing around the bed going, is she gone yet? For Christ's sakes, I need the money. All of her heirs died already. They were all dead. They never got a penny from her. Aunt Olivia. I'm sorry. Go ahead about Olivia.
Yeah, Justin, thank you. And I'm going to give you both a chance to go and pee now.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry that Victoria Principal couldn't make it. Who was it?
Larry Hagman died. It was it was Victoria Principal.
No, it wasn't. Who was it? It was Sylvia Miles. No, who was it that you were supposed to have?
Well, if she might still do it, Beverly D'Angelo.
Oh, right, Beverly D'Angelo. Okay, it was Beverly D'Angelo, Katie. All right.
That's why I dressed up.
Oh, sure.
Wait, you got Julia.
Look who's here. You see her?
Katie.
Katie's here.
Hey.
Of course, now she's not coming, see? Oh, forget it.
Because you gave her the attention, that's why.
Asshole. Yeah, she's an asshole. All right, buddies.
So before we start, Julia, what's your website?
Oh, thank you for asking.
Thanks, Justin.
It's BeverlyD'Angelo.com. No, I'm sorry. It's Diesel. No, it's JuliaScotti.com. You think I could have remembered that?
Your phone number, please.
Shut up.
Hey,
yeah, you got to edit out that part about the town I live in too. You got to.
I'm going to make a joke about it. I never said you live there.
Get it out of there. I don't want anybody. I don't want people showing up at my house.
As long as I never got to the point. I had mentioned that we've known each other for over 10 years. Over 10 years. I thought you lived at the diner.
Well, many people. I'm a diner troll. I am. I love a diner. I love it. You know me with diners. I've gone through. Go ahead.
Even me though. Me. You're the loving Justin Gonzalez. I know you live in the state of New Jersey. That's it. It's like I don't even know what city you live in.
No, you're welcome here. You come here. You come here. Oh. All right, I'll leave you with a song.
I'll come over. I'll pet the kitty, and then I'll leave.
All right.
Next week when we tell Justin and Julia to go find each other.
Okay, Justin, sing along with me. Jason too. Busted flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train. My spirit was as faded as my jeans. Here we go. Bobby thumbed a diesel Dan. Gave him one for free. We jumped in the truck. Never mind. Okay. You didn't sing along with me, so.
I was just taking in the beauty that is the voice of Julia Scotti.
I pulled my harpoon and my dirty red bandana. I'm looking for a home and I hope he finds it. All right. I trade all my tomorrows for a single yesterday.
For one single
I'll be holding
yesterday.
Bobby's body next to mine, and I'm also named Bobby.
La la. Freedom's just another word for what? Come on.
Nothing left.
Nothing left to lose. Nothing. Ain't nothing if it ain't free. Oh, feeling good was easy, Lord, when it sang the blues. Well, thank you, la la la, la 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 la. Good night, la la la, la 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 la. La la la, la la la.
I love the fade. That was good.
Wrong, Justin.
Are we still on? Are we still on?
I'm going to stop. That was
okay.
Julia Scotti and Justin Gonzalez. Thank you again. Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.